Does it have like partly to do with because like the farmers are taking like the raw beans, but then it's getting like roasted? Like where does it get roasted? And like how does that change the price and stuff?
That's a great point. Is half the problem, if not more than half, is that they can't roast it themselves because in America and in Europe we want freshly roasted coffee. So if they roast it there and then send it on a cargo ship to us, it's not freshly roasted. So I actually know about a program that's very innovative that is trying to get around that, and I'll tell you about it in a minute. But in general, they lose a lot of the price value of a product because they can't process it. So the same with that chocolate you ate, all they did was grow the cocoa, but then they send it to Switzerland, and Switzerland mixes it with the chocolate, with the sugar, and makes it into a fine finished product. So that's the next level of fair trade, is to empower people to produce the entire product in your own country. And there's actually a project in Costa Rica. I lived in Costa Rica for on and off for 2 years, so I feel very close to the country and the people. And this project, you can actually go down as high school students and have a sign-up sheet and visit. They have built their own roasting facility, and they have this really neat program where you could sign up for a subscription, and they mail you a bag a month. So it's fresh roasted, and then it comes airmail right to your house. So through conventional fair trade, they get about $1. Well, the price is $1.41 paid to the cooperative, and they get $1 a pound. So then we're paying anywhere from $10 to $20 here. So that's that 4,000% markup they're talking about. That 4,000 is in Kenya, though, where the people don't own the land and they're working on someone else's plantation. So fair trade, the markup is still pretty large because they still need a middleman importer to bring the beans in and roast them for them. So this project in Costa Rica is really great, and if you were interested, put your email down. It's a 2-week trip this summer in Costa Rica. It's for high school students specifically. It's affordable, and there's 5 different dates you can go on. So if you have other programs going this summer, you can go and live in the coffee producing village and see how they're trying to establish direct trade with the U.S.
What exactly is the goal of fair trade? Is it eventually to help all the farmers in these countries, or just?
Well, there's a couple different levels. There's like the social justice movement, like you saw those people in the first film, protesting against the World Trade Organization. There's a lot of people that feel that the World Trade rules are just unfair and biased and are causing poverty to grow at alarming rates. So that's sort of like the philosophical and social justice part of the fair trade movement. The practical side is that eventually to have as many farmers that can and want to participate in the program able to.
Follow up, but
sure.
Isn't it actually more practical for the countries where this is happening and in our own countries to petition governments to not import these, or to, Mexico or something, to more of a social welfare state or something, to more save farmers from being, downtrodden rather than just kind of relying on consumers to do it? And also, if more and more people start joining it, doesn't it then fair trade starts competing with other fair trade, and eventually just develops into the same commercial thing? Kind of 2 questions.
You're too quick for me. I'll start with the end of your question, which is fair trade is less than 1% of the world trade market right now. It's tiny, and it's a minuscule amount. So the competition really doesn't exist. You can't even find a fair trade chocolate bar very easily unless you go to Whole Foods or Cornucopia, or maybe there's some select stores around here. So to make it a choice is one of the goals. That there's not any problem with competition, believe me. When you're up against Nestle and Kraft and all the major corporations, there won't be. It's a choice for consumers like us. Like you may choose to buy a hybrid car, you may choose to buy organic cotton clothing. It's a choice within the marketplace. As far as petitioning governments that trying to change, like especially, unfortunately we just don't have time, I would love to talk about the World Bank and the IMF, which is involved issues. But those are the issues, is the debt that these countries hold are why the people are in so much poverty. They're trying to pay the debt back, because we gave them these loans for infrastructure and stuff. but they can't pay back, so it's coming down to the people and the children working in these unfair situations. So yes, like working on those type of issues is important, but what is something that you could do today to affect a farmer? You could choose a product at the store. So it's multi-level. Like when you go on in your life, if that's something you feel petitioning government, it's great work and could be done. But if you never do anything with fair trade again, if you just change your consuming practices, you're making a difference too. So sorry, it's a simplistic answer to a really good question. Go ahead.
Fair trade isn't any kind of sort of standard label, is it? I mean,
that's a good point. There is, yes, and it's again, sorry because we have such little time that I hope you go from here and ask more questions and do more reading. I brought pamphlets on your way out to take some with you. There's a lot on the web, and there is this really great organization that also has high school chapters. I went to their conference in Boston a couple months, United Students for Fair Trade. And if you sign up, I'll send you a couple different links on your email. And they're doing a lot of work to explain these. But there's one organization, I'll pass these around now because we're getting close to the end of our time. You can take